brief intermission is done. I'm sitting on the floor today. Sorry. Alright, let's do this. So I was tagged. Sorry. To do the top 10 book tag challenge thing by... I'm completely blanking on who it was. But thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't remember your name currently. I'm having the biggest brain fart. I took the ACT today, so that's wild, you know? So, I'm doing it different because I'm quirky. So I have top 10 books. I'm going to show you them from like 10 to 1. But I also have honorary mentions because I can't just pick 10. So from what I understand, it's just like my top 10 books. Or like series. Brief chapstick intermission. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it how I want. Because I'm sorry for this mess of video. Alright, let's get this bread. You still know who you are. Should I do like honorary mentions first? Okay. So I'm going to start with honorary mentions because this is my video and I'll do what I damn well please. So, oh, there she is. She's in focus now. So, first one is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I know how to pronounce things. Which is about a girl. So it says, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all the horrors in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved Jack, who loved the Ripper. So it's basically about this girl who she wants to do something with her life, but because she's a girl in the 1800s in London, she's not allowed to. She's not in focus. Excuse me. No, she's in focus. So it's just like a really interesting thriller novel. I love it. There's more of them, and I didn't know that she wrote more of them. There's Hunting Prince Dracula and then Escaping from Houdini, I think, and I think those are the only two that I know of. This is just so good. I love it. It's up there. If you want something that's like super empowering, that tells you just to like do whatever you want, regardless of what anyone else thinks. I don't remember her name. I'm trying to remember her name, but I don't. What is it? Okay, so her name is Audrey Rose. Sorry about that. Audrey Rose wants to do something with her life. And then Jack the Ripper basically turns it upside down. So, yeah. So that's honorary mention number 1. I love it, but it's not my favorite because there are some flaws within the story. So. Second, honorary mention is Wither. And I read this book like a hot minute ago. So, it's set in the future. I don't know if there's like a year. It's just in the future. And men only live to the age of 25. So they have to like get married and have kids and like repopulate the earth because genetic engineering has basically screwed up the world. And females die at age 20. I actually forgot about that fact. I just looked at the back. So scientists are looking for an antidote, but until then, men take on 3 wives. I think is like the limit that you can only have 3 at a time. I'm sorry, I just, like, had a complete epiphany. So, young girls are very routinely kidnapped to be sold as brides, as polygamous brides? I'm butchering that, and I'm sorry. To bear more children to repopulate the earth. And Rhine is sold as a bride. Spoiler. But all she thinks about is getting home to her twin brother. And she makes some friends, she makes some enemies, she finds out things are not as they seem. It's great. And it's an entire series, I think, but I didn't read the second one or the third one because I don't care. I chose to film right now because no one's home. Of course she's barking. Please excuse my dog. She probably just sees, like, a person or something. Next honorary mention is A Discovery of Witches. Someone's gonna get mad at me for this being an honorary mention and not on my list. It's about Diana Bishop, who's a witch, and she falls in love with a vampire, which is so cliche. I hate paranormal romance. Like, I hate Twilight. It sucks. I hate it. I think it's so dumb. This is not dumb. This is amazing. Diana doesn't want anything to do with Matthew, who's the vampire at first. She doesn't want to fall in love. She doesn't want to be taken care of. She's a scientist. She's got, like, 4 PhDs. She does whatever she wants. But alas, you know, fate screws you over. It's such a good read. There are 3 out currently, and I think there's another one coming out in, like, September. So the next honorable mention is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which kind of makes me sad that I've just fallen out of love with it. I still love it. Don't get me wrong, like, I will never read a story that immersed me as much as this one, maybe. I've read some books recently that are way better for me. So this is about young Jacob, who is very close with his grandfather. And his grandfather tells him these stories about peculiars, which are children who have, like, special abilities, like they can float, or they are invisible, or they can control plants, or, you know, just, like, stuff like that. Not, like, super weird stuff, but just, you know. So then his grandfather tells him all these stories, so then he goes and tries to find them, and he gets much more than he bargained for. And it's so good. I'm loving the new one currently. Drink break. So 10-1, I guess, is how we're gonna do this. Peep my unmade bed in the background. Oh, I'm sitting on the floor because where I usually set my phone, there was a glare. It was very annoying. So, top 10 books. Oh, so I got a notification that I was reading it. Rip me. Number 10 is the Harry Potter series, but I'm showing you the illustrated version of Prisoner of Azkaban because that was the first one I grabbed off my shelf. This is my video, and I'll do what I want. I love Harry Potter. My mom and I used to read them when I was a kid. So it's just been a story that's sat with me my whole life. I'm not sure if this is how you do the top 10. I'm sure you're just supposed to, like, explain the synopsis and, like, move on, but I don't care. Harry Potter is about a boy who finds out he's a wizard. And he goes on these adventures. And he defeats a snake-looking guy. And it's dope. So, number 9 is Once Upon a Dream, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. Oh, I'm not saying the authors. Whoops. So the thing that got me about this one, and I have 2 of them by this author, and they're both, like different versions of fairy tales. So this one says, what if Sleeping Beauty never woke up? And then the other one I have says, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? And I liked this one more than I liked this one, so I put this one on the list and not this one. But they're both really good if you want something, if you're into like the twisted fairy tale stuff. It's wild. So this one is about Aurora, or Sleeping Beauty, Briar Rose, whatever you want to call her, and Maleficent. And it's basically like, what if Maleficent saved Aurora instead of cursing her? So the story goes, I'll just read you the back. It should be simple. A dragon defeated, a slumbering princess in a castle, a prince poised to wake her. But when the prince falls asleep, as soon as his lips touch the fair maidens, it is clear that this fairy tale is far from over. With a desperate fairy's last curse controlling her mind, Princess Aurora must escape from a different castle of thorns and navigate a dangerously magical landscape, created from her very own dreams. Aurora isn't alone. A charming prince is eager to join her quest, and old friends offer their help. But as Maleficent's agents follow her more, Aurora must discover who her true allies are, and moreover, who she truly is. Time is running out. Will the Sleeping Beauty be able to wake herself up? I read this, so it's... Oof. So it's 440 pages. And I read it in one sitting. This video is a whole mess, I'm sorry. Yeah. Moving on. Oh, I should probably put this back. Yeah. Number 8 is The Cellar by Natasha Preston. And I have seen this book for a hot minute. Before I bought it. And I saw Natasha Preston, aka Wattpad sensation. I don't read fanfiction. Not like this. I have very strong opinions on what should be published and what shouldn't be published. But I read the back of this. And I bought it. I actually have the other one too. So before you get mad at me for being a hypocrite, I didn't want anything to do with this book. I saw this book and thought, yuck. So it's about this girl who gets kidnapped. And the man who kidnaps her calls her Lily, even though that's not her name. Her name is Summer. And she gets trapped in a cellar with 3 other girls, Rose, Poppy, and Violet. But that's not their names either. This man, who calls himself Clover, wants perfect flowers, but he's a psychopath and like a neat freak, and if they misbehave he kills them and he just gets a new flower. And it was really good. it was really good, so I definitely recommend that. Number 7 is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. I read this book in middle school, and I just picked it up off the shelf because I saw this. It's like a wand. And I thought, okay, cool, whatever. And then I read the back. Real fairy tales are not for the faint-hearted. Children get eaten by witches and chased by wolves. Women fall into comas and are tortured by evil relatives. Somehow, all that pain and suffering is worthwhile, though, when it leads to the ending, happily ever after. Suddenly, it no longer matters if you got a B- on your midterm in French or you're the only girl in school who doesn't have a date for the spring formal. Happily ever after trumps everything. But what if ever after could change? So the premise of this book is Delilah, our main girl, falls in love with Oliver, who's a prince in a fairy tale. And my favorite thing about Oliver is he's not like a traditional prince. He's very scared and very logical, and he has no interest in fighting whatsoever. But they fall in love through the pages of a book. They fall in love, like Oliver's a book character and Delilah's a real girl, and so they navigate trying to figure that out. It's amazing, wonderful, beautiful. 10 out of 10 recommend. It should be higher up on the list than it is, but whatever. Ah. 6. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. You shouldn't be surprised. She's just gonna bark. She barks at everything. There's probably no one there. Daisy! RIP headphone users. Baby! It's fine. You want to make an appearance? Oh, hello, sweet girl. Hello. Aw, she didn't give me kissing. Alright, get out of here. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. Lay down. Lay down. Go, move, Daisy May. I'm leaving this on. I'm not cutting this out. Move. Go lay down. Love of my life. I love her more than anything. Anyway. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Moving right along from that horse that just came in here. That's Daisy. It's my dog. So I used to get a lot of comments on this book when I'd like have it on my desk. My teacher would be like, excuse me, that's the shirtless boy. And I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. I don't control what they put on the cover. So this one's about a girl named Clary Frey who's suddenly thrust into the Shadowhunter world because her mother is a liar. I have a lot of opinions on Jocelyn Frey. Just saying. Yeah, she meets new people. She discovers her heritage, like who she is, who her dad was. It's wild. Just wild. Next one. I lost count. This is 5, actually. Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. If you can't tell, I have a favorite author. And it's Cassandra Clare. Lady Midnight is about a girl named Emma Carstairs who is struggling to figure out her feelings about her best friend Julian, who is struggling to figure out what happened to her parents, why all these people are suddenly dying the same way that her parents did. She navigates all of that and more in the Dark Artifices series. I'm so bad at this. 4. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. It's about 6 people who are all very different from each other, are pulled together for a heist. And I love Inej and Kaz, and yeah, it's so good. Also, like, look at it. Look at how pretty. Also, the pages, like, these are black, and then Crooked Kingdom is, their pages are red. So pretty. Number 3, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Kalina Sardorthian? I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm sorry, Sarah J. Maas. I'm a disgrace. She is chosen to compete in this competition, and if she wins, she gets to be the king's champion. It's basically like an assassin job, and she wins freedom from being a slave in the salt mines. And you find out that Selena is not who she says she is. She's very important, and yes. But you don't find that out until, like, book 8. Number 2, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I have 2 favorite authors, can you tell? A Court of Throne of Glass. A Court of Thorns and Roses is about this girl named Farah who does something she's not supposed to. So, like, humans and fairies live in the same world, but they don't interact. Fairies kind of terrorize the humans, like, for fun, I guess. And Farah does something she's not supposed to, and so, like, as punishment, she can either die or go and live with Tamlin, this fairy prince. He's like a fairy. He's not a prince. But she ends up liking the fairy world. She kind of belongs there, and she doesn't really know why. The fairyland is cursed by Amarantha, this woman who was scorned, and so she took over all of fairyland because that's what you do. And so, yeah, she struggles. She wants to free Tamlin because she's his friend. She wants to free Lucien, who is Tamlin's best friend, who is also a character in this story. He's also here. And she's just navigating emotions because she is 19. Like, she's 19. She's not, like, an adult. I mean, technically, I guess she is. But she's figuring out things and where her loyalties lie, to the humans or to the fairies now, and it's amazing. And this video is 21 minutes long already. So, runner up to number 1, I have that too. I forgot. The Lunar Chronicles, or I guess just Cinder. This series I read in middle school with a bunch of my friends, same with the Immortal Instrument series, and we just fell in love. Marissa Mayer is so good at just making this world that you just fall into, and so seamless the way that these characters move together, and the plot flows so well. And I'm rambling. Anyway, so, I mean, you can probably guess what this is kind of based on. So, humans and androids crowd the ravenous streets of New Beijing. A deadly plague ravages the population. And from space, a ruthless lunar people watch, waiting to make their move. No one knows the Earth's fate hinges on one girl. 16-year-old Cinder, a gifted mechanic, is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is reviled by her stepmother. But when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future. Because there is something unusual about Cinder, something that others would kill for. It's beautiful. Also, my friend suggested that I do, like I go in my favorite series and, like, talk about it and, like, explain plot and stuff. Would you guys like to see that? Or would I just be making those videos just for me? That's also possible. Let me know. So, number 1 is Clockwork Angel, or just the Infernal Devices series in general. I guess my favorite one would be Clockwork Princess. Whatever. I read a lot of series, I realized, while I was getting these books off my shelf. So, Infernal Devices is about a girl named Tessa who falls into the Shadow Underworld. She believes she's human, but she finds out she's not. And Tessa has a power that the Magister wants, and she's pursued. And she meets 2 boys, Jem and Will, and they become like the Golden Trio, but earlier on in history. And I love historical fiction. Like, it's probably my favorite up there with fantasy. So it's just, I love it. I have no words to describe this book series. It's amazing. If you like historical fiction, you got it. If you like romance, it's got it. If you like paranormal, it's got it. I mean, checks all the boxes. So, yeah, there's that. I probably did this all wrong, but it's my video and I'll do what I want. Yeah. So let me know if you guys want to see series stuff, because I would do it. I would, like, go deeper into the A Court of Mist and A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I keep saying the second book name, but that's not it. I would go deeper into the Dark Artifices. I would go deeper into the Infernal Devices, the Six of Crows duology. Just like, I'll do anything. If there's a book that you have read that you like and I have heard of it, I'll read it and do a thing about it. Let me know, bros. So, I didn't start the video like I normally do. Hi, I'm Emma and I like to read and that's it. So, thanks for watching. I don't have coffee this time. I'm a disappointment. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do I have to tag people? If you make book videos and you want to do this, do it. I tag you. Boom. You're tagged. You're it. I hope you have a lovely day or night or whatever time you're watching this. I hope you're doing really well. I hope you get a nice cup of coffee soon. Or tea if you're not a coffee person. In that case, you're weird, but whatever. Bye!